Hi, everyone. Welcome. Glad you're here. I'm Daphne. I'm here to lead you through some intention meditations tonight. We have three really interesting meditations. So I'm very, very happy that you're here to lend your power to these meditations. And I want to prepare you for the third intention, which is about connecting you with your spirit guides. And one of the things that we'll have an opportunity to do tonight is to receive specific information about our guides. So as we breathe together tonight to connect and to bring our brains and hearts into coherence, I'll also be asking your guides to draw close to you. And you may even notice some physical sensations. You might notice a temperature change, just to let you be aware of how they might appear in your energy field. Hello, JKB. Yes, thank you. Very, very happy to have your help with these. Okay, well, let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to breathe together for about 2 minutes. And during this breathing exercise, I invite you to think about your nervous system and how the brain and the heart can join each other and come into coherence during this. And it's a very simple breathing exercise. I'm not going to put my hand over my heart because of the microphone, but that's a great way to remind yourself to breathe through the heart space. And I'll cue you through the breathing for the next 2 minutes. So, hands over heart, shoulders relaxed, feet on the ground, connecting with the earth, and breathing in for a very relaxed count of 4, 5, 6. Exhaling slightly longer. 5, 6, 7. Breathing in 4, 5, 6, and out 5, 6, 7. You might feel your shoulders relax. You might feel your breathing slow just slightly. Very comfortable, very relaxed. You're arriving in this moment. Nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, but just bring your brain and your heart into coherence and begin to connect to the group energy. So everyone watching right now, everybody who joins these meditations in a recording, we are all connected. And I'm going to ask our guides and angels to draw near to us and blend their energy with us tonight. Breathing in for 4, 5, 6. Out 5, 6, 7. In 4, 5, 6. Out 5, 6, 7. Thank you. We are connected. Hello, Emmy Simmons. And Venus, hello. All right. I'm going to add our first intention to the screen right now. And this is for Chris, who has macular degeneration, which is a way that many of us lose our eyesight as we age. We now intend that Chris, 70, of California, remains healthy and well in every way as his eyesight improves measurably over time, So he's able to maintain capabilities like reading and driving and keeps his independence. So allow this intention to drop into your heart chakra and send it spiraling out into the quantum field and follow the energy. You can't hear the music. It's all the way out. It's all the way out. Thank you, everyone. Trust this intention and release it with love. Uh, Marlene, I see your note here that the volume's very quiet. Hopefully that improved. I did adjust some of the settings on this side. If you can just let me know. Hello, Vicenta. Roslyn, wonderful. All right, our second intention. This is an important one, big one. Let's do this. We now intend that food and water flow into Gaza immediately, completely, and permanently, saving the lives of its people so they may be healthy and well in every way. And again, we don't worry about the how. We just send our intention to the universe and follow the energy. Thank you, Marlene. Thank you, everyone. Trust this intention and release it with love. And our final intention tonight. This is for all of us. We now intend to immediately, tonight, during this meditation, receive one or more meaningful insights about our personal spirit guides, deepening our connection and illuminating our relationship. Allow this intention to drop into your heart chakra. Send it spiraling out into the quantum field with confidence and love, and follow the energy. Thank you, everyone. Trust this intention and release it with love. And so it is. Thank you so much. If you'd like to share your insights and impressions from the meditations, first we meditated for Chris and his eyesight. Then we meditated for food and water flowing into Gaza immediately. And then our third meditation was getting some details from our spirit guides. So if you'd like to put some notes in, I'm going to, while you're doing that, I'm going to celebrate with Rosalind. Hi, Daphne. Hi, everyone. Great news. My grandson, Omid, has been approved for the fireman position in Hawaii. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is fantastic. That was just a few weeks ago that we intended for him. And I think he was going for a lifeguard position first, not expecting the fireman position so quickly. That is fantastic. And glad you're here, Rosalind. A couple of people were asking me where you've been the last few weeks. So very happy you're here. Really happy that you got such great news. We're celebrating with him. Thank you. And then Venus writes, last time I was so relaxed, I fell asleep. It was so beautiful. Ah, that's wonderful. Yes. And if you do fall asleep during this, that's okay. Your energy is still involved. You're still supporting and lending your power to these intentions. It's all good. Okay. So while people are making notes in the comments about the 3 meditations, I'll begin to share with you what I saw in the meditations. For Chris, I saw 2 lines, and one line was his eyesight, and that was steadily improving. And then I saw this other line come up from below and cross in the future. And my impression was that that was a cure coming in. And eventually his eyesight will be slowly improving, and then a cure will come in, and it'll be really fast progress after that. So I hope that is an accurate interpretation of what I saw, but I felt really, really good about the energy of that intention. So excited about that. For the second intention for Gaza, I felt like a bubble of pressure was around the country and around the people. And it was the obstacles to getting aid into the country, to getting food into the country. And there was so much external pressure, and there was a great deal of anger, righteous anger. And suddenly the bubble popped, and the food and the water flowed in. So my feeling is that this isn't going to take very long. I have a really low bar for humanity. We need to feed everyone, right? And I'm looking forward to us growing spiritually and ascending and all that. But if we haven't mastered the most basic thing about being a human being on this planet and feeding children, come on. We can do better. We can do better. And so I think this is going to happen fast. And I'll remind you that when the U.S. sent a couple bombs to Iran, you remember that we meditated for that, and I saw like a scrim, and there was a movie being projected on it, and the movie was all about war, but people all around it weren't participating. And that seemed to be what happened. There was some saber rattling, some performative explosions, but they didn't do that much damage. We didn't hear about any casualties, did we? And then there were strikes in Qatar on U.S. military. We didn't hear about any casualties there. felt very performative. And I tell you this story because I want you to trust the impressions and the insights that you receive from these meditations. Those are your guides working with you. You're developing a vocabulary to communicate with them. Okay, let's see. Emmy Simmons writes, I saw something similar to you for Chris. The testing consistently showing improvement. Yes, thank you so much. And for Gaza, I saw bread and clean water falling from the sky in Gaza while the people rejoiced and children got excellent sleep. Oh my gosh. Yeah, when we first dropped in, I had that aching you get when you, I mean, we're fortunate. If we go hungry, it's because we're deliberately fasting or we're doing it ourselves, but we all have experienced that sort of pinching in the belly, that shakiness when your blood sugar is really low. So when I dropped in, I immediately felt that. I felt the exhaustion. I felt myself lying on the ground waiting for food to come in, and then I felt that bubble pop, and here it comes. And it was good food, good water flowing into the country. Yes, thank you. Yeah, and then for the third meditation, bringing in details from our guides, I wonder, did you feel any physical signs of connection with your guides? Did you feel a temperature change, pressure in your energy field? You know what it's like to, if someone's standing too close to you, behind you in line or something, you feel that physical pressure in your energy body. You might feel something like that. I know I do, but it's very comforting. I feel like they create a formation around me that's very, very supportive. And tonight, even though I've been meditating with my guides for decades, and I feel like I know them very well, I still learned something new about each one of them. And it was just very beautiful and very comforting, very reassuring. And they did have some improvements that they offered. I welcome their suggestions at any time. And I will tell you that working with my guides, it's the key to every other intuitive skill that you might have, right? So when I go into the Akashic Records, my guides go with me. When I read the tarot cards, my guides are there presenting the cards to me. When I do mediumship readings, my guides are there with me. They're helping me connect and to hear and understand what the loved one is bringing into the reading. So that's why I've spent the last 5 weeks helping you connect with your guides. And let's see what Julie has to say. JKV writes, saw 2 guides, one that specializes in healing and one that helps with strength and stability. Wow, that's amazing. I had something similar. Yeah, that 2 of them wanted to talk about my workouts. Okay. That's fantastic. Thank you, JKV. Yeah, wonderful. Now, it's easy to make these connections and go, okay, that's cool, that's really interesting, and then think that it's not something you need to return to. I would encourage you to consider this connection on a daily basis. And the more you connect with them, the more you listen internally, the more you understand how their energy, their expertise, their spiritual understanding is about the most perfect support you could have in this lifetime. And they can help you accomplish any of your goals, develop any skill that you want to develop, and they'll also help steer you towards things that would really be very satisfying and wonderful. So I hope that you will get as much out of this as I do. Emmy Simmons writes, the one I connected with tonight showed me a vision they gave me when I was 20 and then told me more of the story. That's amazing. Yes, I know that Emmy Simmons is quite advanced in this work, and that is really beautiful. Yeah, that for them, time doesn't exist the same way it does to us. So picking up the thread of a story from 20 years ago, that's no problem for them. And I think that when we do complete this life and cross over and we get to look back and see the tapestry of this life, so many connections will be made and so much understanding will flow. Why this happened, how that benefited you, why you were presented with certain obstacles and certain challenges and frustrations, and what the full benefit of that experience was. Very happy for you, Emily Simmons. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, everyone, you still have an opportunity to share these. You can put them in the comments section for the recording, or you can send me an email, relaxwithdaphne@gmail.com. Next week, we are going to meditate on behalf of the world's children. I'm really quite tired of children's rights being violated and children getting the raw end of the deal over and over again. It's a huge failing of our species, and we can do something about it. We can make some improvements for people. So I hope you'll join me next week for those 3 meditations. All right, everyone. We are going to disentangle. Let's see. Diana isn't here, so I'm going to type in disentangle time myself and pop it up on the screen. There we go. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for lending your power to these meditations tonight. I hope you found it relaxing and calming and encouraging. I know I do. It's wonderful being connected with you. So for the next couple of minutes, we're going to practice good energy hygiene. We're going to close the circle. We're going to disentangle from the group energy. Breathing in and out. Slightly longer exhale. Breathing in 4, 5, 6, and out 5, 6, 7. Letting your shoulders drop, signaling to your nervous system that it's okay to relax, that all is well. And even though we tackled some difficult topics tonight, we don't have to take our concerns or our worries with us. We've contributed to the well-being of others. We've contributed to the justice and love in the world. I want you to feel good about the work you've done here tonight. Breathing in and out. And by now you've probably felt a little shift where you are disconnected from the group energy, and as ever, take with you anything healing or encouraging or helpful into your week. Thank you, Rosalind. Good to know that you've been here. Glad your computer is fixed. We'll see everyone next time. Thank you so much.